What's going on, Jerome's? So obviously, Week 18 did not go the way that the Vikings wanted, and players, coaches, fans, everyone's a little bit pissed off, a little bit salty, but it is what it is. No crying in the breast milk. Gotta get ready for wild card weekend, Monday night, against the Rams, and it's a big time game. Not only because yes, Vikings came into the season with lowered expectations, but at a certain point, Kevin O'Connell, first year. Fantastic. 13 wins, won the division, bowed out in the wild card round. This season, 14 wins, could potentially bow in the wild card again. So is Kevin O'Connell going to be a big game coach, or is he one that can rack up and stack up regular season wins, notably by one score, and then just sort of whatever in the playoffs? And with Darnold, respect, man. Built up so much goodwill this season. He played some high-level football against some tough competition. Was very clutch at times, but it all just against the Lions. He was so god-awful in the biggest game of the year. Just wasn't good. But fortunately for Darnold, he can win all of that back with interest by balling out in the playoffs. And we know that he can. Absolutely know that he can. But here, Tan fixes for the Minnesota Vikings heading into the playoffs. Number one, Kevin O'Connell adjust to the blitz and also run the damn ball. Right. So KOC has talked about the Vikings do have to continue to run the ball, and guess what? They can have success on the ground. And I know as a former quarterback, I know that you've seen what you can do with Slinging Sam Darnold, aka America's quarterback, just chucking the ball downfield, but you have to have balance up front. You got to be able to rest your defense, got to be able to keep the pass rush off of Darnold. Also, the blueprint is out. The whole cliche about, well, the blueprint is out, the plan is out, because what Aaron Glenn did to the Vikings offense Week 18, other teams are going to do it. They're going to blitz the living bejesus out of this team because this offensive line couldn't pick it up. Kevin O'Connell did not adjust to the blitz. There weren't screens, quick passes. They didn't do anything. They continued to just roll out there with the 5 and 7 step drops and just like, save us, Sam. No. So Kevin O'Connell has to be ready for that because that's what the Rams are going to do. That's what subsequent playoff teams are going to do to the Vikings, right? And O'Connell, this really, like we said, this is legacy type stuff. Like, is he a guy that gives great post game speeches or go out and win high leverage football games? We're gonna find out. All right. Number two, although as burnt as I am right now, obviously still extend Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi adofo-mensah long term. With Darnold, fix your ish. Absolutely. That's what it comes down to. Where Darnold throughout the year, aside from the Jets and the Jaguars game, had played fantastic. And the stretch between the Titans game and the Packers game, 7 games, Darnold was playing top 5 football. And against tough competition, high leverage spots, game-winning drives, he was fantastic. But he completely just pooped the bed against the Lions. 44% completion percentage, just completely inert in the red zone. Airmailing things, not attacking the middle of the field, almost put Hockenson in the hospital a couple times. It's just not great. And it's anathema to what we've seen from Sam Darnold this year. And I know all the haters and the losers were just waiting. We're just like, I can't wait till Sam Darnold turns back into a pumpkin. He gave the haters and losers ammunition Week 18. But he could shut them the hell up in the playoffs, starting with the Rams. So go out there. You're back in L.A., SoCal kid. Just go out there and sling it, man. Because at this, also, Kevin O'Connell, too, yes, run the ball. Yes, let Sling and Sammy do his thing. But you literally have nothing to lose, right? Because if you turn in another bad or mediocre performance, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, you don't get paid. Cool. But guess what? You literally have nothing to lose. That makes it very dangerous. Scared money don't make money. Number 3, the receivers, you got to fight through holds. And, the Lions game, it was basically a playoff game, and you got a playoff whistle. And refs are going to let all of that ish go in the playoffs and big-time spots. And, the receivers are frustrated. Jefferson was mad. Addison was having a tough time. Hockenson, was complaining to the refs too. They had valid points, but you're not going to get those calls, especially on the road, especially not in the playoffs or Week 18, which is basically a playoff game, like we said. So you're going to have to fight fire with fire, right? If they're not going to call DPI or defensive holding, guess what? You can get physical too. All right, and Darnold obviously has to get right too, but the receivers have to help him out. And yes, they were running open and free. Got to continue to do that. Right, and you got to play tough physical football out there. Addison has been great this year in contested catch spots down the field. We need him more than ever. That's what's frustrating about Darnold's. Like, Addison should have had 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 in that game against the Lions, but we'll get him next time around. Next up, number 4, Justin Jefferson. So you got to be the GOAT. And effectively, yes, I mean, a large part of it was Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, a failure to adjust, but you got locked down by Amik Robertson and Kindle Vildor. And a lot of it was not this double, triple bracket coverage that Jefferson has seen all season. Aaron Glenn was playing press man across the board, belt buckle to belt buckle, and blitzing the living bejesus out of it. So everything was open down the field, one-on-one spots. And yes, you were being held. Yes, Darnold was ass. Thank you. Yes, Kevin O'Connell wasn't doing his thing, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like, if you're the GOAT, and I think that you are, you got to be the GOAT. Right? No excuses. 2008 Larry Fitzgerald type playoff run can be in the offing, and Darnold is very capable of getting that hot. Number 5, getting that hot, getting the ball to Justin Jefferson. Number 5, the offensive line, pick up a GD blitz. Now, part of it is Kevin O'Connell not adjusting, not going with a quick game, or not just getting the ball out of Darnold's hands, and the offensive line suffered. And Darnold hang on to the rock too long also impacts the offensive line. But guess what? Doesn't matter. Like, no excuses. 26 pressures, 2 sacks, a 54.2% pressure rate, which is not good, right? Against a defense that did not have a Lee McNeil, that did not have Aiden Hutchinson. You just completely on the road, hostile situation, just like, and there should be some changes on that offensive line. Brandel ain't it after starting off nicely. Dalton Reisner, Garrett Bradbury, obviously it's time to move on. The only offensive lineman who 100% should be back next year is Brian O'Neill. Well, outside of Darisaw, obviously. But in terms of who's playing right now, Cam Robinson had himself an atrocious game, and you got to be able to step up. This line is capable. Saw that against Green Bay, the best game of the season. But guess what? Probably not going to have a home game the rest of the way. So you got to be able to perform on the road in hostile territory and just go get some. Next up, number 6, the offense as a whole, closing the red zone, man. That was so frustrating. And when they got into the red zone for the 4th time, you're just like, how are they going to mess this up? And confidence does play a part in it, but they have to compartmentalize. Like, bad things are going to happen at stretches, but are you going to allow that to compound? Are you going to allow that to have quicksand effect and just go? No. But 0-for-4 in the red zone against the Lions, 34-64 on the season, 55.7% is 19th best in the NFL. So you're bottom 3rd in the league in scoring in the painted area. You can't allow yourself to just give up those 4 points, or 7, depending on how Reichert's feeling. Once you get in the red zone, score. And you have all these damn weapons, and maybe it's that Kevin O'Connell gets a little bit one-dimensional. Doesn't run in the red zone like they should. But at the end of the day, you have Darnold, who's been playing at a high level, Pro Bowl caliber. You have Jefferson, you have Addison, you have Hockenson, you have Jones out of the backfield. You got Cam Akers out of the backfield. You should be scoring in the red area. No excuses. Yeah. Next up, 7. Brian Flores. Blitz on every down. I don't care anymore. Right? And we've talked about how there needs to be a little bit of semblance of balance, especially on the back end of the defense, where the Vikings don't really have that personnel to play press man as much anymore. It doesn't matter. Right? Every single game now is indeed the Alamo. It is win or go home. So it's not so much concerning about keeping your veterans' legs for the stretch run. I mean, the stretch run's over. We are in the stretch run. And whether it's Gilly or Shaq or Murph or whoever, play press man and blitz the living bejesus out of teams. Because you saw how the Lions operated. With a much less talented team, they were able to cause the Vikings fits. Right? And Flores, like, you don't have to tell Flores twice to blitz more. The Vikings blitz at the number 1 rate at 38.9%. Double it. I do not care. Blitz 70%. Just go from there. All right, because if you're going to go down swinging. None of this sit back, see what happens. Oh, I'm on or over the middle. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah. No, screw it. Plus, adjust to the playoff whistle as well, because, hey, if they're not going to call it on the Lions DBs, they're not going to call it on you either. Because otherwise that'd be pretty damn obvious, right? But get physical, get tough, get physical. Gilmore's been out there, former defensive player of the year. He's won Super Bowls with Flores. We have a jam-packed veteran defensive back room. Just go out there and play some bully ball until they start calling it, which I don't think that they will in the playoffs. Next up, number 8, Grenard AVG changed the game. So this is just more. Keep on doing what you're doing. And Grenard, AVG, combined 23.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. Could have been 3. Right, but you're going to need 1 or 2 game-changing, game-wrecking plays, and that includes Pace Jr., that includes Cashman, that includes this entire defense, man, because it comes down to it. And also, number 9, hey, if the offense isn't going to put up or shut up, defense, score off of turnovers. And the Vikings have 3 defensive scores this season, 2 AVG pick sixes, and Ivan Pace Jr. Scoop and score against the Lions. They haven't had one since week 7. We need some more, right? Because if AVG had run that pick 6 back, that completely changes the game week 18. And if the offense is going to poop themselves or play a little bit tight, guess what? Defense needs to step up. And if special teams is going to be asked, thank you, the defense has to lead the way. And Flores' bunch, hey, get turnovers. You're the number 1 turnover team in the league with 33. You need more, and also you need to score. All right, and getting 1 or 2 of those plays each game is going to make the difference between winning and losing. Number 10, Will Reichard, get your ish together. 6 misses in the last 6 games, 2 shank kickoffs, giving the other team the ball at the 40. Can't have it. So I understand that your future is going to be bright. Maybe there's a dip in confidence right now. Maybe that quad is acting up, even though Kevin Collins says no. Either way, figure it out. And you've done it before. Like, you've had some rough stretches at Alabama. You got through it, all with Nick Saban in your face and yelling at you. Fix it. All right, because otherwise the Vikings, after they beat the Rams, they're going to have to bring in some kicking competition on the practice squad. Lastly, number 11. Let's go through that one. Whole team, do not play tight. You could tell the weight of the moment against the Lions got to this team. Right, and that's a failure of leadership, not only on O'Connell and Flores and the coaching staff, but also the veteran leaders on this team. Right, and there's some vets that have played some high-level football, and this entire team writ large was just, they're trying not to lose, especially the offense. And I think that impacted Darnold and his mechanics and his confidence, and then all of a sudden that just bled over to the entire team, and then in the fourth quarter, it completely sunk it. Right, but guess what? You don't have to worry about expectations anymore because everyone thinks that you're going to fail, like including like a decent portion of Vikings fans. Oh, 14 wins, it's a good season, blah, 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 blah. Everyone thinks you're going to lose. And guess what? Say F you to all the haters and the losers and a decent portion of the fan base as well. Go out and beat the Rams' ass. And then guess what? If wild card weekend, the rest of it goes according to Hoyle, go into Detroit, beat that ass. But probably not. Probably not. No, I think that the Commies are going to beat the Bucs. All right, so the Commies go out and lose to the Lions, and then guess what? Vikings divisional round, go out to Philly, beat that ass, revenge tour, and then NFC title game in Detroit. It's what you want. It's what you want, man. Hey, bring it on, because guess what? A team that doesn't have to worry about playing tight because they have no expectations, dangerous team. All the cliches, house money, scared money, don't make money, and just swing away. Like you don't know what you don't know. Darnold, F it. F the haters. Go get your money again. Sack up and just deliver bombs all over the place. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, just go to war with those DBs. Offensive line, get your ish together. Run the damn ball. Kevin O'Connell, just sling it. Flores, blitz on every single down. Defense, take the ball away and score. That's what they need. And Will Reichard, I don't know, maybe you're left-footed. Don't know. Who knows, man? But either way, like this team, it's more than just a cutesy-wootsy season and 14 wins. The Vikings can go out and they can beat the Rams' ass. They're going to beat the Eagles. They're going to beat the Lions. And then they're going to beat whoever the hell comes out of the AFC. 4 more wins. Still gets it done. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Like Kevin O'Connell said all season. But guess what? Get pissed. Get pissed. Get mean. And go out and give it to them. That's it, man. But that's it. Fix it. You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.